We're live, but
Okay,
it's just kind of the
I'm just gonna put this here. As we come together tonight, we acknowledge that this is an intense time for our communities. If anyone in our community suffers, we all suffer. If anyone experiences injustice, we all experience it. The beauty of community is that we have the support of each other to lift us up during the darkest times. We remind each other to hope. We strive together for justice. We seek peace together. Tonight, I have lit this candle as a beacon of justice and hope. As we join together with our community to celebrate the voices of our artists and reflect on second lives, we also recognize and honor the current pain and injustice many African American members of our community continue to experience. I invite you to join me in a moment of silence for those whose lives have been taken because of racism. Our board wants to convey that at Greenlee Art Space, Black Lives Matter. I now invite you to move forward with me in hope as we commence the celebration of all our artists and their unique and creative voices. We welcome you to Second Lives. So this art show, Second Lives, Reuse, Reclaim, Remake, explores the many facets of reuse in our lives. As artists, we are pioneers in giving found or reclaimed objects second lives as art. Many artists that you'll see tonight have recreated things out of trash and everyday objects that the world utilizes. We hope to inspire others to rethink what is trash and to recreate from things that are often thought as useless. Nietzsche states, anything in existence, having somehow come about, is continually interpreted anew, requisitioned anew, transformed and redirected to a new purpose. So we invite you to sit back and enjoy this amazing offering from our artists titled Second Lives.
Hello everyone, welcome to Second Life, Greenlee's online annual fundraiser. Thank you all for taking the time to join us this year. I'm so proud to be part of Greenlee Art Space, and it's an honor to be able to speak to you for just a moment to share how amazing I think it is that our community continues to come together, create, share, and show artwork so that we can all benefit. I'm especially excited about this show where we all get to learn together what it is to have a second life. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Around the gallery together as we explore this work, and I'll be reading some information that the artists have shared about their work. Not everything could be shared, but we hope to do it throughout this month. So this one right here is titled Seen If Before, Not Like This. And this is by Kathy Franklin. It's acrylic on canvas. Next here we have by Sue Norforth Howard, Primal Scream. It's an all metal sculpture with a pan lid, pipe, plate, fixture, and mesh. Next, we have Childbirth, all metal sculpture, once again by Sue Newforth Howard. It's made of a tray, citrus squeezer, pipe, plate fixture, mesh, epoxy glue, teardrops. This next one is a very special one. It's titled When a Planet is Born, and this one is by Slater Barron. It's mixed media and it's dryer lent. All right, so we keep moving around. We have by Stephanie Hahn, Les Prétemptes 2, and it's a mixed media piece. Below that, we have Rolodex by Ellen Butler, and this is a found object. Next here, we have a piece by Jeff Lee. It's titled Your Name Here, and it's 169 fake credit cards and jump rings. Next, our own David Hocking has created this piece titled Underground out of recycled wood fiber board, desk drawer, and acrylic paint. Below that, we have Yellow Pages by Ellen Butler, and it's also a found object. This next piece is titled Heisenberg, and it's by Jeff Lee. It's created with rock candy, glue, and acrylic boxes. And now we're going to have a video by the artist about his process.
Hi everybody, my name is Jeff Lee. I am a portrait and scenic artist currently living in Long Beach. I have two pieces in the show Second Lives. I'd like to tell you about them real quick. The first is called Heisenberg. It's a portrait of the Walter White character from the TV show Breaking Bad. In addition to using paint, I often like to use unconventional materials in my portraits, so this one's made from various colors of blue rock candy to simulate the famous blue meth from the TV show. What I really like about this piece is that over the course of time, I originally made it about the time when the show went off the air. The rock candy started to discolor and decay a little bit. At first it was kind of dismaying and I got really kind of upset, and then I realized that it actually, I think it's cooler because it represents the path that the character goes on throughout the show and how they sort of decay as it goes on. So I like that a lot about it. My second piece is called Your Name Here. In addition to doing portraits, another thing I like to do as an artist is collect things that are maybe mundane or everyday, and collect them for years and years, and eventually figure out something, some sort of art to make out of them. These are the fake credit cards that you get in the mail from credit card companies when they try to get you to sign up. And I saved them for years and years, and I originally made this piece about the time of the financial collapse when everybody got into really bad credit card trouble, myself included. But what's interesting is that I've been able to expand it as the years have gone on because I keep getting more and more of these credit cards in the mail. I used jump rings to connect them together, which are little metal rings. I wanted to kind of create the feeling of armor or chainmail, just because of, I think, the concept of credit cards being like protection and safety, when really it's just cardboard and rings, and it's sort of a gamble in effect. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the pieces and enjoy the show, and thank you so much for your interest. Have a good one.
All right, well, welcome back into the gallery. The next piece that we have is titled Contrast. It is by artist Kay Hagan, who actually mails her work from Oregon, and it's a mixed media piece on panel. Now we have artwork by an artist, Juan Carlos Perez. This top piece is titled Splintered Tongue. It's acrylic on found wood. And this bottom piece here is titled Pantry Canned Goods. And I'm going to read what the artist has to say about this work. This is a work, that talks about canned goods that are given out in local pantries, the only source of food for many low-income individuals. These cans are painted with the pattern of writing paper, the very first paper used to begin to write your name, the very first vocabulary to mark your identity. In this case, these canned goods mark an economic identity that furthers a dialogue on the value associated with food and which class systems within society one belongs to. With COVID-19 and the loss of unemployment, food that middle-class Americans once identified as low quality or cheap and only for those of lower class or in dire straits is now valued for its essential source of nutrition needed to survive. All right, now we're moving on to work by Louise Ivers. This top one is titled Abandoned Objects, and it's digital photography. Below that is Defunct Refinery, also by Louise Ivers. And next we have Forklift Yard. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. Let's go back just really quickly to Kay Higgins. What I forgot to mention, and that I just want to mention and thank Kay if she is watching. Kay basically has donated the entire price of this work. If somebody purchases this, all of the money is going to go to Greenlee Art Space. So I just wanted to say thank you, Kay, and if anybody is interested in purchasing this, let us know, and that will all go to help Greenlee Art Space. All right, we'll continue on now. What reminded me was because this artist as well, Connie D.K. Lang, has donated some work, but I'll tell you the first one, which is not a donated piece. So it's titled Sucker, and it's a used mattress protector, tea dye, nuts and bolts, and plexiglass. This bottom piece was created specifically for this show, and it's titled Stop the Growth. It's reused materials, manipulated digital image and thread. So basically all of the proceeds from purchasing these, if you purchase all of them, all of that goes to Greenlee, or they can be purchased separately. So please let me know if you would like to help Greenlee Art Space out in that way. And thank you, Connie. Thank you so much for donating those and for creating those for us. All right. More good artwork here. Next, we have work by Federica Campanari. And Federica, you will have to forgive me. I'm not sure if my French is going to be right, but Feuilleton #1, I believe. It's a mixed media collage on acid-free paper. Below that is Feuilleton #2. Same thing. And #3 is Feuilleton #3. All right, from there, we're going to move on to Katie Stubblefield. This piece is titled Big Mouth, and the materials that were used to make it were wicker, rulers, clothes hanger, cardboard, t-shirt yarn, and zip ties. All right, and this next piece is titled 16 Boxes, and that is by Lauren Zack, and these are recycled Cheez-It boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about these. Oh, and I think I'm going to have to go back to read about Connie's. So anyways, we will first read about Lauren's. So basically, each 8x5, 8.5 by 6 1/4 and by 2.5 inch piece is made out of a recycled cracker box and embellished with a variety of reused materials. Calendar images, cardboard, junk
Technical difficulties here. Nathan? There's no sound?
It should be sound from you, right?
Yeah, it should be sound from this mic.
So is it
And
not?
I see it.
Okay. So I'm not sure what to do. Sounds back on? All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Woohoo! Sounds back on. Back to the party. All right. Thanks for your patience. So this one on top is a reused mattress protector uses to introduce a new sense of life. It is cut, dyed, folded, and compressed with 2 pieces of plexiglass with nuts and bolts from a discarded sculpture. The idea is to explore the dichotomies between soft and hard, life and death, chaos and order, and industrial or organic. Now is Stop the Spread. Used fabric from clothes, bags, bandana was used to make masks in light of this coronavirus crisis. Each fabric mask is presented in a saved clear, is it cello or cello? I don't know, C-E-L-L-O, packet, anyways. And every purchase is 100% donation to Greenlee. All right, thank you so much. And we're gonna move on here to a piece by Katie Stubblefield titled Shag. It's made of wicker, clothes hanger wire, t-shirt yarn, zip ties, shredded hammock, steel springs. And now we're gonna have a video that was done by Katie Stubblefield on her process.
Hi, my name is Katie Stubblefield, and I'm very happy to get to participate in the Greenlee's annual fundraiser, Second Lives. I am grateful for the gallery's strong commitment to our community and this opportunity to meet up virtually. So thanks, Greenlee, for making this possible today. I've been asked to talk briefly about the work I have in the show. Generally, I make artwork about chaos, order, and entropy. The work is informed by site visits and forensic photography. I look at things like storms, earthquakes, pandemics, and yes, even riots. These 3 smaller sculptures are an odd side project resulting from this study. These are poppets. Essentially, each is a doll, and it's made up of actual scraps and debris from whatever it is that I'm looking at and taking pictures of. So, broken branches, charred electronics, torn t-shirt fabric, chunks of concrete, it all gets bundled up and hung up. These remind me of backwoods folk magic to ward off future chaos. I like them functioning like a rabbit's foot or a 4-leaf clover or a horseshoe, something like that. And I'm really happy to be able to have an opportunity to share them today. Thanks, Greenlee.
All right, so now we're at a black and white photograph that's actually by me, Kimberly Hawking, the curator and director here at Greenlee Art Space. And it's my pleasure to present this art piece to you, and it's titled Hope with a question mark. And my husband actually found this bike wheel, which I believe is from a kid's bike. It's a small bike wheel. And this bike wheel has been in a number of sculptures of mine over the years. So this was a sculpture I created many years ago, before we had kids, a good 20 years ago, I believe, and it's been in a number of sculptures since then. So I like this idea of looking towards things and hoping towards things, and I think at this time I was really thinking a lot about us having children, and it's so lovely to see the way that our children have grown and that hope has been fulfilled. So anyone who wants to make a $50 or more donation to Greenlee, I will gift you with an 8x12 of this photograph. So, all right, let's keep on moving. It is titled After the Party.
It's a collage with paper on paper and oil-based ink. Moving into the back room now, we have a piece by Claire Jacobson. It's a mixed media piece with acrylic paint, Mod Podge, old phone book. Okay, so try again?
Yes, okay.
So this is a piece by Claire Jacobson. It's a mixed media piece. It's acrylic paint, Mod Podge, and old phone books, catalogs, and watercolor paintings. And Claire is actually on our board as our secretary. All right, so next we move on to a piece titled Forever by Sharna Fabiano, and this is an acrylic on canvas piece. After that, we have a piece titled Circles and Curves by Lucy Rigarello. It's oil links and BFK paper. After that, we have Traveling Through Space by Angelica Fegli. It's oil on canvas. Next, we have a piece by Ron Yale. It's Draven the Crow, and it's repurposed trash items. And now back to another piece by Claire Jacobson. It's titled Logic, and I'm not sure if I had mentioned the other one was creativity. I hope I did. The first eye that we saw was creativity. This one is Logic, and it's a mixed media piece with acrylic paint, Mod Podge, and old phone books, catalogs, and watercolor paintings. And we will now see a short video by Claire Jacobson.
Hey there, Greenlee patrons. My name is Claire Jacobson. I'm one of the artists showing in the show this year for our repurpose show. Basically, I'm also one of the board members here at Greenlee. I'm their board secretary, so I also do put in a lot of time and effort volunteering here. The pieces that I put in, you'll probably be able to see them. They're going to be two large 30 by 30 square size canvases. One each canvas itself has an eye on it. For my project, I ended up repurposing two canvases that I used from previous paintings and from a previous show. For that, I ended up using those canvases, repriming the front sides and leaving the edges from the pre-existing images on there, as well as once primed, I ended up going through my entire kind of like inventory of things that I owned and wound up with some pieces that I used for previous projects, from old phone book scraps, old art catalogs, and as well as like there's an old watercolor that I even shredded to make background pieces for this image, Mod Podge to the canvas as part of my repurposing of both materials and meanings and themes for this concept though of repurpose. I didn't necessarily have the theme of repurpose for the images created, but for the materials being used. The actual images of the eyes, so there's one on each canvas. I have this as being a juxtaposition between logic and creativity. However, it may not be there once explained unless looked at through the title. The idea of it is called Logic and Creativity, and one eye is from my boyfriend, whose brain works more on a logical based scale. Like everything is very concise and to the point and logical, and like has a very scientific way of going about it. However, in the other eye, which is my eye, I have used that as I process and create and do things more creatively and more of an artistic standpoint. So I use the symbology of the two separate eyes, one from each person, creating one set of eyes to show the balance and the juxtaposition between logic and creativity. And I just wanted to make that apparent and just to have more space to talk between being able to cohesively bring the two together, as well as seeing each from different points of view, so eye to eye and all that kind of good stuff. So I really hope you enjoy, and please let me know what you think. I always enjoy the comments and the feedback. Have a great day.
All right, so welcome back, and thank you, Claire, for that. Next, we have a piece here, again, by Ron Yale. It's titled Abandoned Beach Treasures, and it's made out of kids' beach toys. All right, and next we'll move up to this piece by Susan Hartman. It's titled The Arrangement, and it's oil on canvas. All right, next we have artist Wendy LaGreen, and the title of this is Unlocking the Way. It's textile, natural tree bark, glass beads, and lace. And I'm going to read what she has to say about this. She says, I used a 1915 Auto Club map of the rim of the World Highway. I chose a bird's eye view and added pieces from a lace t-shirt or a lace shirt to denote topography. The elevation of the mountains in spirals is noted using the lace. I then switched to the view of a two-point perspective, and what might I see if I see in the mountains on a walk. I listened for the trees to whisper, to show me a new portal to pass through as my 30-year teaching career has finished. I am going to do my own art and build a psychotherapy practice specializing using art to guide others in their search to find new pathways of their own. I am becoming the dream of a new map to become lost in. All right, next we have a piece by Paula Prager, and it's titled Controlled Chaos, and this is acrylic on canvas. Next to that is a piece titled My Vineyard by Angelica Fegley, and it's oil on canvas and leaves. All right, and here we have a sculpture, and the sculpture is by artist Nate Jones, and it's tire shavings, acrylic paint, steel, and wood. All right, next we have this Untitled piece here by Bob Rosenfeld, and it's tile on a wood form. We're going to now hear from the artist in a video about his practice.
Hi, I'm Bob Rosenfeld, and I am proud to be a participant in the Greenlee Art Space Art Show, Second Lives, Reuse, Reclaim, Remake. As a basis for my tile art, I build the wood forms and then scour the dumpsters at various tile stores to gather a variety of discarded broken tile pieces before they went to the landfill. This reclaimed material provided me with design details in a new and creative way without any cost. After selecting the tiles for their color and patina, I cut the individual fitted pieces with handheld nippers and then apply each piece to the wood form, letting the newfound materials inspire the design and design process, thereby deconstructing these reclaimed pieces for reuse as a completely new object. The concept of recycling is second nature for most of us, especially as we sort our rubbish weekly before it gets carted off in a refuse truck. All the artists in this show are making something from nothing. They are being thrifty and creating art from someone else's cast-offs, resulting in a world that has become a more decorated place in which to live. Thank you for supporting the Greenlee Art Space annual fundraiser.
Dryer Lint. The bottom is titled Thorns and Pussy Willow, and it's mixed media.
I may have covered it on accident. Is it back?
Is sound back now? Not back to you?
Oh, now it's back.
Okay, now it's back. So where do we need to go back to?
To start again over there.
Okay, all right.
We're sorry. We were told
All right.
we missed the sound. So
We missed the sound, so we will start again. Thank you for your patience with technical difficulties. All right, so first up here we have Arizona Copper Mines by artist Susan Hartman. It's an oil painting with copper wire and turquoise stone. Now next to that is an Untitled piece by Ariana Hacking. It has a fox face, rabbit bones, pheasant pelt, and reused stuffed animal. And thank you, Ariana, for letting us know that we didn't have sound. Next, we have At the Colorado Lagoon by artist Steve Marr, and this is watercolor on paper. Next to that, we have When a Planet Dies by Slater Barron, and this is mixed media and dryer lint. Below that is Thorns and Pussy Willow by Slater Barron, and it's a mixed media piece. Now we have Storm and Stability by artist Sarah Walsh. And it's a collage with acrylic paint on canvas. Next to that, we have Cabled by artist Katie Stubblefield. It's wicker, rulers, clothes hanger cardboard, and wire, t-shirt yarn, zip ties, plastic ties, and solar panel. Next to that, we have Endangered Forest by artist Sarah Walsh. It's a collage using EEG paper, oil-based printer's ink on paper. All right, so I'll stand on this side so you can see how tall this guy is. This is an untitled work by artist Nate Jones, and it's resin, acrylic paint, and wood. He said that this one is fun outside because it can move in the wind. So, all right. Next to that, we have Found Memories by artist Marka Burns. It's digital and mixed media collage. All right. Next to that, we have Original Blemish by artist Juan Gomez. It's a satin bag and a key on layered rope. Now down next to that, I'm gonna put on a glove here so I can show you a little bit more of this piece. This is a piece by artist, it's titled Sketchbook, and it's by artist Annie Strongquest. It's a mixed media piece on an antique Japanese accounting book. So I'm just gonna flip through a few of the pages here to show you maybe just a couple more interesting things that I think Annie has hidden inside of the pages. So if you come in, you can ask me to put the glove on and show you more of this beautiful book by Annie Strongquest. All right, next we have Self-Help by Marka Burns, and it's a digital and mixed media collage. Next we have Magenta Blemish by Juan Gomez. It's wax, spray paint on layered rope. Below that, we have Swan Lake by Joe Kump and Annie Strongquest. It's found objects including a paperweight and dental mouth mold with braces. That's one my dad would like, as he's a dentist. Is your thing over the no sound? Are we good? No sound? Again, from where? From which piece? Do you have your finger over it?
No.
Why is the sound going in and out? From this one? Okay, so we'll start again. Is the sound on again now? Can you hear us? Sound on or no?
No, it runs behind slightly.
It's running slightly behind?
So there's a
Well,
lag.
That happens. If there's a lag, it's okay. All right, well, we're having a few technical difficulties. We want to make sure that you can hear what we have to say. Are you hearing anything? Nothing at all? Maybe it's something with your device.
Maybe I could switch.
Well, you have to remember there's going to be a
A lag.
delay between
Yeah, that's fine.
when it's.
So, are you hearing still nothing at all?
Still nothing.
No sound.
Can be.
Can you do like a little note? We're having a few technical difficulties. Back in a minute. Get it work?
Have Nathan put in the meeting code to that one.
All right, put in the meeting code. Okay, so is that showing you?
Yeah.
Okay. Dave?
All right, can you switch it, Nathan?
Did you switch it already, sweetie? Okay, so we're hoping now that we're back. We had some technical difficulties with no sound. Ariana, if you're hearing this, can you come in and give us a thumbs up that we're good to go? Oh, people can hear? I can't hear. Okay, all right, so people can hear.
Okay, that might have been, maybe it was her headphones then.
Maybe your headphones. All right, well,
We're back.
we're back. I guess people could hear maybe in our effort to be very careful and make sure that you could see and hear everything and have kind of double checks and standards maybe. Anyways, it's an experiment and we're in it together. So thank you for being in this process with us, and we're so happy to have you here for this. So we'll get back to it now. And I guess maybe why don't we just start at Marka Burns' self-help, just to make sure. And it's a digital and mixed media collage. And next to that, we have Magenta Blemish by Juan Gomez. It's wax, spray paint on layered rope. Down next to that is Swan Lake by Joe Kump and Annie Stromquist. It's found objects including a paperweight and dental mouth molds with braces, which my father and brothers actually would all find interesting because they're dentists. All right, next is Homage to Dada by Marka Burns. This is a digital and mixed media collage. And next we have Duck Odd by Joe Kump and Annie Stromquist. And this is a vintage twine holder and wooden duck head. And finally here we have Les Prétempes Swan by Stephanie Hahn. All right, so it takes many hours and much dedicated work to make a show like this one possible. And so we're going to show you a video now, which some of you may have seen a few of the clips of Dave and I during this week, working together to go from an empty gallery to the show up. So here's that video. welcome back. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into, and then this is just some of the hours, many hours that goes into making a show like this possible. So Greenlee Art Space is a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're dedicated to enriching lives and cultivating community through art. We work with emerging artists like Juan Gomez, we got to work with last year, and we like to create projects with communities all around the world. We did a really neat project called Darkness and Light with a community in India that worked with young girls who had been who were survivors of sexual abuse, and they were able to share photographs and their stories in that show and talk about their courage. So 10 years ago, which is amazing, I can't believe it's been 10 years, yay, 10 years, when we made the dream of Greenlee a reality, I didn't know the amazing journey that we would take. I didn't know all the incredible artists that I would get to meet, many of the artists here, and all the art lovers and patrons that we have come to know one another as community. And I must just say, I really missed being with you all at this time. I've loved all of our openings where we get to greet each other. So here's a hug from afar, and yeah, we look forward to when we can meet together again. So one of the things that we look at here at Greenlee is that Vincent van Gogh's brother Theo was really instrumental in making the art that we have right now from Vincent van Gogh passable. His name was Theo, and he was able to help Vincent van Gogh live out his life and his calling as an artist. Many artists throughout the times have struggled financially, and Greenlee Art Space has been no different. We have struggled as well, but we want you to consider being a Theo. And what that means is to be a supporter of great artists in our midst, like these artists that you've seen tonight. Our board of directors and much of our volunteer staff, it's all volunteers, so your funds go directly into making shows like this one possible. I have a quote by Vincent van Gogh, and he says, "In my view, I am often immensely rich, not in money, but although just now, perhaps not all the time, rich, because I have found my métier, something I can devote myself to, heart and soul, that gives inspiration and meaning to my life." So what we would like to do tonight, as this is our annual fundraiser, when we usually have lots of people and are selling artwork and people are making donations, we want you to consider making a donation tonight and becoming a Theo because of our because if you become a monthly donor, especially, you become this like strong base of support for us so that we can support our artists. We are kind of like a full service gallery, and we provide curating and hanging, press releases, PR postcards, an opening, web and social media exposure at no cost or very little cost to our artists, which is not something that a lot of alternative spaces are able to do. All right, here. So, and much of the work that you've seen tonight, not all of it, but much of it is for sale. So if there was anything that you saw that you're interested in, you can contact me through our website, greenleeartspace.org. You can also, Dave is going to be working tonight, probably. By 10 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to have spaces available for sale so that you can come in and see this artwork in person. And I really encourage you to do that, because we here at Greenlee believe that seeing the actual work so you can get a sense of the scale and the texture and the color and the size, all of this is very, very important. But we are going to be taking all the COVID-19 precautions. We're only going to be letting 5 individuals in at a time. Artists, if you're interested in coming and bringing people with you, contact me so I can reserve spots for you. All right, and if you're feeling sick, obviously, please don't come in, and we do ask that everyone who comes wear a mask. All right, so go to our website and you can click donate, and you can help us keep this important work going, and you can help us to create shows and work to expose artists and to bring this artwork to the community. We want to say thank you. We have many donors and friends and patrons, and we just want to say thank you so much. We would not have made it this 10 years without your help. And then tonight is a family effort, a community effort. So first I want to thank my son, Nate. And then now I would like to also thank my husband, Dave, and I'm sure you can see from the videos how much amazing work this guy does. If I did not have the unparalleled support from this man here, this would not be possible. So thank you so much for helping to make this dream of Greenlee a reality. You're awesome. So, all right, and then I would like to thank my daughter Ariana for kind of monitoring things for us in the front room, and also she is in art school out at the Art Institute in Chicago, and she's in the fashion program, and so she has created a piece of work for us, which, can you see it there on the screen, or does she need to move over? Are we good? Okay, awesome. So she's created this
a little bit closer
embroidery for us, and this is going to be going on auction on Greenlee Art Space's website, and that will be up starting tomorrow. So if you would like to bid on this beautiful piece by Ariana, please do that, and all the proceeds will go to Greenlee Art Space. So thank you so much. All right, now I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit more challenging, I guess. This last week has been a difficult one, I know, for many people in many different ways. And I want to take this time to honor the life of my very good friend and amazing artist and community person, Slater Barron. This work of hers, When a Planet is Born, is a piece that I picked out probably 3 to 4 weeks ago with her when I visited her in her home, and she talked to me about when she passed on from this life, she would be going out to her planet and she would take me with her. So I've created a short tribute. I would like to dedicate all of my work for this show to my good friend Slater Barron, and to say I love you. So here's a video.
My dearest Slater, it's so hard to even begin a video like this because of how much I truly love you. I remember when we met 10 years ago down at a art thing at the Latin American Museum of Art, and that was an auspicious day. You came and visited me at Greenlee Art Space, and it was when I was first starting out, and you gave me so much hope and courage, and shared my passion for art and for working with artists. I remember when I learned that you had a beautiful installation that had been in your garage for many, many years. It had never been seen, and the joy of putting that up together was amazing. To be able to put that up in Greenlee and to arrange your mother portraits together, standing up in that space, the way that it impacted people as they came in, and just how your heart created such beautiful work. You were and are an amazing human being and a light. I'm gonna light this candle here in honor of you. I am sitting now in my studio. I don't think I ever brought you here, and that is one regret, so I'm bringing you here now, and yeah, I just want to say thank you. It was such a joy to do the show. with a wide variety of your work, with all of your doors that were called your prayer paintings. And I remember you telling me when you came in that you thought to yourself, wow, I really am a good artist. And Slater, you are an amazing artist, an amazing individual. You told me you'd take me to your planet with you when you went, and I'm still waiting. I guess I have a few more things to do here, but I can't wait to follow you. And yeah, so this show that we've done, this second live show, I think it speaks to how we all can have different functions, different lives. And I remember you telling me about the many different things that you've done during your life, from being in the Navy, to teaching, to being an amazing artist and friend. Thank you so much for your example. I had another really wonderful example in my life. That was my great-grandmother. Her name was Beatrice Bertha Moncrief. And she went back to school in her later years to take poetry, and all the other kids in the class were upset because she was blowing the curve. So she wrote a beautiful poem that I want to read that's titled Resurrection, and I think it speaks to, yeah, I'll just let it speak for itself. I know not what of life may wait for me beyond the portals that men pass at death. I know not if my soul shall feel more free, if it be clothed in form that needs not breath. I care not that I leave this flesh behind. I would not have you grieve that it must go. Back to the dust, for only then I find my resurrection in a form I know. So let this body rest close to earth's heart, and as it falls to dust, I then shall be of this old earth so intimate a part, that I shall live through all eternity. And may you find me in a form man knows, the strength of oaks, the beauty of the rose. So, thank you, Slater, for all you are, the many, many ways you have blessed me and so many others, and we love you. I love you, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so Slater Barron died a week ago today on May 30th, and we dedicate this show, Second Lives, to her. So we want to just thank you so much for joining us on this very unique journey. It's very different to have it be quiet instead of filled with people, but we're glad that from wherever you are here with us, and we want to let you know that we appreciate you and we thank you for being part of the Greenlee community. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you here in person, because seeing the artwork in person is the best way to do it. Thank you so much.